Hello, everybody. Welcome to OTG Berlin's Curriculum Night. My name is Brendan Schrock, and I will be teaching your students in AP Chemistry this year, something I'm really looking forward to. A little bit about me before we start. Like I said, my name is Brendan Schrock. This is my second year teaching, both years here at Berlin. Last year, I taught chemistry, honors chem, and physical science. And this year, I'm teaching chemistry as well as AP Chem. On top of that, I am also the varsity wide receivers coach for the football team and the freshman coach for the baseball team. So pretty busy around here, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Really excited about AP Chem. This will be my first year teaching it. Some of the students that I have, some of your students I had last year. So I'm really excited to see their faces again. And then for those students that I haven't had, they've been a pleasure to have in class so far. I've already built some really good relationships with them. So I'm really excited for AP Chem and how this class will be this year. We'll dive right into it. So we'll go through the syllabus. We'll talk a little bit about the exam at the end. So the textbook and lab manual. So this is their textbook for the year. All of your students should already have one. They will be required to bring that to class. So the way that it'll work is every Wednesday will be a work day where they come in and just work on things. They'll have learning targets, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but they have a topic guide that they have to work on. And Wednesdays, I'm allowing them to come in and just do that work. That way, if they have any questions, I can be there to assist for those questions. And a lot of their work and reading comes from the book. So the textbook is required, and they'll need it either in class and for virtual days as well. So a quick introduction. This course provides students with a college level foundation to support advanced coursework in chemistry. We'll talk about atomic structure, forces, bonding, chemical reactions, thermodynamics. And this course is compatible with many chemistry courses in colleges and universities. Being someone who's not very far removed from college, who did study chemistry in college, I can tell you that this class is very closely related to what it is like in college. In universities. I went to Kent State. So I'm going to model it as best as I possibly can to make it have that feel of a college class. So your students will have a better understanding of what the expectations are when you walk in on campus and take chemistry. And that starts right away with the way that the class is weighted. So each quarter will be weighted with the test being 55% of the grade. Quizzes will be 15%. Lab quizzes are 15%, learning targets are 10%, and then any other assignment will be 5%. That's broken up just like any other class here. So your quarter one grade and quarter two grade are 20% apiece, and then your midterm exam is 10, and that counts towards 50% of the final, as well as quarter three and four go together. So that's how the final grades will be posted and taken care of. Semester and yearly grades. Since this is AP, this is a 5.0 scale. So it's the same structure. So an A is 100 to 93. Instead of getting a 4 for GPA points, it would be a 5. But everything is still the same as the grade breaks down. Homework for each unit. So basically that is required homework and then extra practice homework. So required are the learning targets. So if throughout the syllabus, if you see LT, that stands for learning target, on a topic guide that your students are given, those are what are required. Those learning targets need to be done the day we take a quiz. If they want to do, some extra practice or go the extra mile, then there's the extra practice. If they finish all of the extra practice, then all of that, if they finish all the extra practice, they are allowed to take a unit retake for their test. Okay, those will take place outside of the class, either in a study hall or before or after school, but those have to be scheduled with me with enough notice. And there's a whole structure that's set in place. So what will happen is your student will take a test. Once the test is taken, I'll grade it, and once the grade is given back, your student has 7 school days to tell me they want to take a retake, which part they want to retake, and then take the retake. So there's that 7-day period in which they're allowed to do so, as long as all of their extra practice has been completed on top of the required practice. Absences, obviously, I know that there's a lot going on right now, so I'll be, lenient when I can. Try not to miss class, but if that happens, just talk to me. There will be absence sheets and all that kind of stuff, and we'll make sure that your student gets caught up with all the work they need. Schoology, I'll keep Schoology updated as best as possible. When you go to the Schoology page, it has all the folders and all that stuff there with everything they need. So all of their work will be submitted online via pictures of their work. So all those folders are there. And I will keep a running calendar on the right side. I'll keep a running calendar on the right side as current as possible. Mobile devices. I'm not going to take devices, but obviously, I would like them not to be on their cell phone. But, like I said, I'll treat this as a college class. So if your student is on their phone and I'm doing a lecture that day or doing a lab, they're the ones missing out. So encourage your students not to be on their phones. In class work expectations. So when students come in and they want to work, like on those work days, they can really do however they want. They can either work individually. I have the desks sectioned off with blue tape so that they're 6 feet apart. They want to work in small groups. We have like trifolds that they can sit in so that they're still socially distanced, or they can work with me. And I will set that up as if I were a professor with office hours. So if your student comes in and they say, okay, I want to work with you today, and I say, okay, what part? And they say, I don't understand any of it, just help me. I'll kind of be like, well, I need to see a little bit more work. So your students are going to be expected to come in with work already done and have those questions ready to go. Lab notebooks. I would say that your students are expected to keep one in like a composition book. That way, whenever we do labs, they're writing down all of the analysis and observations and all that stuff. Experiments, they probably won't be doing them per se hands-on. I will do experiments in class and demo them. The reason being is I don't want your students to take off their mask for their CDC guidelines. And the masks are flammable. And, if a chemical gets stuck in their mask or something spills on it and they don't have another one, then that's what they're breathing for the rest of the day. And we obviously don't want that. So there's just too much risk for students to be doing labs with the masks on right now. So when your students come in, I will do a demo of the lab, or we will do some type of video where they can watch it. And then we can do the analysis and discussion together. Those notebooks should be open, taking those notes down. The notebooks won't be taken for a grade, but a lot of the questions and stuff for a lab quiz can be answered by the analysis and discussion we do in class, which they could write down and study from. Those are your lab experiment procedures and expectations. Obviously, even though they might not necessarily be doing the lab themselves, safety is still a big thing, so they need to adhere. They need to adhere to all of those guidelines, whether they are 6 feet away from me or not. Safety is still a big thing, especially in AP Chem where we're working with some really, really cool reactions. College credit. So the AP chemistry exam will be on Friday, May 7th at 8 a.m. Students should look into the specifics of each college to learn about what scores can lead to credit. So if your students know where they want to go or they've already applied or any of that kind of stuff, I would encourage them to talk to admissions and make sure that they're getting the credit that they deserve once they pass the AP exam in May. In general, a 3 is considered a passing grade and will earn some college credit. And I have a little matrix that explains how all that works. And then with 3 weeks left in the course, so probably kind of around when we get back from spring break, that's reserved just for review. So we'll work through all of the units. There are 10 units or 9 units. And then after spring break, we'll start reviewing for the test. We'll take the test and everyone's going to do just great. So here is the outline. There are 9 of them. This is laid out exactly how the college board, the AP committee, lays it out. So there are 9 units. We're starting with number 1, atomic structure and properties. There are 2 labs, and then as you see over here on the right, this is the tentative time. So we'll take about 2 weeks or so to get through unit 1. There will be the unit test, and then unit 2, and so on and so forth. The first semester we should get close to being done with unit 5. And then second semester, we should finish 6 through 9, come back from spring break and start reviewing. So this is a breakdown. This is a breakdown of how the test scores will be curved. In order for PowerSchool to accurately represent what they're getting on, compared to what they're scoring on the test and what the AP exam shows, I will curve the grades. So the way it works is the last 3 years, excluding 2018, anywhere from about a 75 up has scored a 5 on the AP exam. So there's a matrix that has been created that will allow for that to be accurately displayed in PowerSchool, and it looks something like this. Move myself. So if you look here, the raw score is what the student would actually score on the test. So if your student scores a 75% on the test, that's going to be a 95% in PowerSchool because a 75 would have gotten them that 5 on the AP exam. Okay, so this is going to be a challenging class. This will be hard. To get a B, you could get a 65% on the test and still obtain a B in the course on PowerSchool. Okay, so that's how the matrix will work. That way, it reflects the way that the AP exam is, and still gives your students that challenge, but the credit that they deserve. So I hope that this answered all of your questions. If you still have some, again, my email is on the syllabus. Let me pull that back up. It is brendan_schrock@olsd.us. You can reach out anytime. Give me 24 hours or so to get back to you. On the weekends might be a little more sporadic, but I'll get back to you as best as I can. Again, thank you for having your students be here, and I'm really excited to be with them. So thanks, guys. Have a good day, and hopefully get to meet you soon.